Alright guys, good morning, or actually it's just afternoon here on a Monday. Thought we'd do a nice little flight. We've got some weather here in Southern California. So we're going to try to stay VFR, and thought I'd just do a quick hop over from Murrieta, French Valley Airport, which is not too far from my house. Over to Palm Springs. We'll do a little bit of scud running here. The weather so far looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and bring up the chart here and just show you where we're going. Okay, so if my mouse will start working, there we go. Okay, so here's where we're going from, right over here. And we're going to go to Palm Springs, which is right there. And you can see the weather right there, Palm Springs. Currently they're reporting winds 040 at 8, gusting 14, 10 miles visibility, few at 7,500. So that's pretty good. I think we can deal with that. Forecast-wise, what do we got here? Few at 7, and then we've got some gusty winds, scattered at 8, scattered at 6. So it should be interesting. So we're not going to fly, direct. We're actually going to take off, and we will kind of go through the Banning Pass and then over to Palm Springs. Quick hop. The weather along the route, like I said, looks pretty good. Over here at March Air Reserve Base, they are currently reporting winds out of the south at 11, broken at 4,200. That's the lowest one I think I've seen right there in the area. So it should be pretty good. We'll see if we can stay out of the clouds here and remain VFR. So let's jump in the plane and get started up here. If my mouse would work, there we go. All right. First things first. Let's go ahead and close our door here. We'll latch that. I see what my problem is. My mouse keeps coming off of the mouse pad. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's go ahead and turn our battery power on, alternator on. We'll go mixture rich. Actually, we're going to turn on our fuel pump and mixture rich. Turn our fuel valve on. We'll open the throttle just a little bit, and then let's get her started up. Alright, that looks good. Yep, we're going to reset that. Put our yoke back on. Let's go ahead and lean out our mixture here a little bit. Bring our throttle back. Alright, let's set up our instruments here. So that looks good. Altitude-wise, let's see. You know what? Let's tune our... we have an AWAS here at French Valley, so it's 119.025. Let's see if we can tune that in. 119. Put it on COM2. 119.02.
Murrieta, French Valley Information Charlie. 1900 Zulu weather. Wind 180 at 8, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 4,300 broken, 6,300 broken, temperature 13, dew point 5. Altimeter 2.
Alright, we'll turn that off. So yeah, ceiling looks good. Let's go ahead and set our altimeter setting here. I actually didn't see what the altimeter setting was. Let's get that again.
Murrieta, French Valley Information Charlie.
2986. Alright, so let's go ahead and dial that in. Yeah, we got a little bit of a low pressure system hanging out over the top of us here. So there's 90, 1, 2, 3, 2986. Yep, that's about right. And we are going to be VFR, so let's see, our heading is south right now. Let's go ahead and set that. 180. Double check that. Yes, south. Okay. Everything else looks good. We've got fuel. Let's go ahead and put our anti-collision lights on right now. And I'm going to turn down the volume just a little bit. Alright, I think we're ready to get rolling here. So let's go ahead and taxi out. So we're basically, let's see, the winds were out of the south. So I think we're going to head up to the north end of the runway, and then we'll do a little turnaround.
Murrieta, French Valley Information Charlie.
180 at 8, just double checking the winds again. Alright, so parking brake is off. Let's start rolling over here. While we're taxiing, we'll go to standby on our transponder. I'm going to bring up my map right here too. We'll set a couple of frequencies. Let's zoom in here. Yep, that's us. I want to get the airport. There we go. Do we have any frequencies here? Unicom, that's about it. Okay, I won't bother with that then. Try to get back on the taxiway here. Sometimes I have a tendency to be a little sloppy on exactly where I'm taxiing. So we're basically just going to eyeball this. Like I said, we're going to fly a little bit up to the northeast. We'll fly over Hemet here, and then through the Banning Pass, and we'll see what the winds are like up here. All right, we'll stop over here. We'll do a little bit of a run up. Say a little bit of a run-up just because I'm not following the checklist, but we'll go full rich, put our landing light on, fuel pumps are on, we'll throttle up to about 2,000, and make sure that we clear out any fouling if we have any. Double check our magnetos here. They both look good. Alright, back to idle. And looking good. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn on some radios here. We'll do our transponder to altitude. Let me go ahead and put up our panel lights here. It's a little dark out. Alright, we'll get that back. We'll get this back. And I think that's it. We'll square up our view here. And let's go ahead and take the runway for departure. And double checking my heading, that looks good too. Our DG. As we turn to the south, we'll double check that again. Something's catching up there. Alright, heading south, looking good. Let's go ahead and throttle up and get on out of here. We'll do a left turn after takeoff. Airspeed's live. Wait till it gets about 70. There we go. So we'll try to stay about 3,500. That'll keep us VFR and hopefully below the clouds. A little bumpy. Got a few rain showers through the valley here earlier this morning. Checking my volume there a little bit on my OBS. Make sure we're not too loud. All right, that looks good. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna trim up my rudder just a little bit here for the climb. We're at 2,500. Let's go ahead and make our left turn. You can see the clouds are obscuring the mountains there to the south of us. I'm actually going to power back just a little bit here. We're coming up to our altitude, about 3,000 feet right now, and I see those clouds are pretty close to us, so it wasn't the prettiest turn. Right, let's get trimmed up here. Kind of heading, we're gonna head right for Hemet, which just past the reservoir here. You can see we're gonna go to Hemet, and then we will keep on going up towards Banning right there. All right, so there's 3,500 coming up. Let's get trimmed up for level flight. Start powering back a little bit. Head right for the reservoir there. And I think I'm going to hand fly it the whole way. I'll just make it a little bit more realistic here. Let's take a look at our RPM here. We can go up a little bit higher. So this should be interesting going around the mountain there. You can see that mountain off to the to our like 1 o'clock there. We're going to go around to the back side of that, and then that should bring us right into Palm Springs. Let's go ahead and get cleaned up in the cockpit here. So let's get our mixture. Bring that back a bit. See our EGT coming up. Fuel pump can go off. Landing light can go off. Climbing up just a little bit here. Let's double check our RPM setting here. Bring that back to about 2650. Is what we're shooting for. We got a little descent coming in here. Let's get back down to 3,500. And since we're looking at some water, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my my water reflections. That'll make it look a little better. Put the waves on. It's a little windy here. Probably have some waves in the reservoir. And hopefully we can get through banding over here without too much trouble. Here, we're coming up to Hemet Ryan Airport, dead ahead. We'll overfly it. Trying to stay at least within 100 feet of my altitude here, so just trying to get that trimmed up so that we're good on our power and our altitude. And at least it's smooth right here. We'll see what it's like when we get towards the mountains. And hopefully we don't have to climb up and to get over them. The banding pass should allow us to go through it at 3,500 feet. So the altitude at banding is 2,000. Let's take a look at 2,222. Okay, so at 3,500 feet we'll be. What does that make that out to? It's at 1,000, 300-ish feet AGL. And if we have to, we'll climb up a little bit higher here. We should just skirt the mountains right over here and head across to the east. So you can see there's Palm Springs, which is where we're headed. We're right over Hemet right now. Gonna kind of head over, turn over Banning, and then into Palm Springs through the pass. Let's take a look out here and see Hemet. That's not what I wanted. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Let's take a look backwards. There's Hemet. A lot of firefighting. We have wildfires here in California, so there's they use that as a tanker base. Go ahead, start a little bit of a turn here. Try to head for Banning, just around this this one ridge line right here. Climbing up a little bit, but that's okay. We've still got some room here, it looks like, with the clouds. A little bit lower out this way to the right of us. And let's see, Banning has an AWOS, which is an automated weather observation station. 134,625. Let's see if we can tune that in with our little frequencies here on the map. And there's Hemet. Zoom out a little bit. All right, Banning. Let's see, it's not showing up on here, so let's go ahead and tune that in manually. What did I say it was? 134,625. So 134,625. Doesn't do it. Oh, 134, right? I got that right. Yeah, 134,625. Okay. No, can't tune that in. 134,662. 65. 5 isn't doing it. Let's take a little bit closer look here. It looks like it's kind of dropping down a little bit, but I can see through the valley right there. So we'll go ahead and turn. Basically, we're going to be heading right out this way. Climbed up a couple 100 feet here. But we'll try to do a little bit of a, well, this scud run, I guess, is what you would call it. But we've got good visibility all around, and if we run into any trouble here, we can always do a 180-degree turn. So let's just take note of that. About 200. So if we run into any clouds, we'll do a turn, a left turn, since we're clear of the terrain over here on the left, as opposed to the right. We'll do a left turn and head for 200 as our emergency get out of the clouds for right now. But I don't think we're going to have that. You never know with the simulator though. Sometimes it, you know, to update the weather and bam, all of a sudden you thought you could see underneath it and then drops the ceiling down on you. Nice view of the mountains as we go by them. And can just barely see Banning Airport up ahead of us right there. There it is. Surprised we're not getting more turbulence here. There's a bit of wind here today. Like I said, we got a little low pressure system that's moving through the Southern California area, giving us this nice weather to enjoy on X-Plane. Wanted to double check my my spark plug fouling there. We've got auto fuel set. Alright, so I've got Banning Airport right ahead of us here, so if we have any trouble, we know where it's at. Scenery is looking pretty dull today. Gray day. We're getting some bumps here finally. Just ever so slightly. Alright. I guess that is going to be a pretty quick flight over to Palm Springs. Let's go ahead and get ready for that. So let's get Palm Springs weather tuned in. So like I said, currently they have winds out of the north at 8 gust 14. Let's see if that's the same in the simulator. So their ATIS is 118.25. Let's go ahead and tune that in.
Palm Springs INTL information Charlie. 2000 Zulu weather. Wind 320 at 7, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 20, dew point 4. Altimeter 2978. Arriving runways 31 left, 31 right, departing runways 31 left, 31 right. Advise on initial contact you have Charlie.
Alright, so I just reset my altimeter right there to Palm Springs, since we're right around the corner from it. And winds out of the north at 7, so it's almost completely opposite from what we had over in French Valley. And you can see we got a little cloud here we may run into. We did end up climbing up to 4,000. Now the field elevation at Palm Springs is 476 feet. Let's just call it 500 for easy reference. So we could start our little descent here. As a matter of fact, I think I will, and start powering down a little bit. We'll put our fuel pump on, our landing light on. And we'll throttle back to about 2,500. Mixture can stay where it is right now. I can see that we're right about where this little cloud deck is, because I can't see the horizon. It's starting to sort of obscure the horizon right there. So we're going to go ahead and start our descent down here a little bit so we don't run into that. I want to be able to see the horizon past the clouds, because this deck right here is lowering down a little bit. Alright, we're pretty much just over Banning, it looks like, or just past it. Yeah, just past it right there. So throttle back again. Yeah, this little deck right here just is lowering down and down. So let's go ahead and scoop down underneath it. Stay VFR. I'm throttling back. We'll see how low we need to go here. Looks like we might just run into the top of it right over here. Luckily, it looks like this is the end of it. It looks like it's a little bit clearer over Palm Springs, right? We're down at 2,800 right now. Still got a little bit of cloud there. Probably going to run into. I can see through it though, so that technically makes this VFR. There we go. Just through the haze there. Alright, 2,500. Let's go ahead and throttle back up. Maintain 2,500 right here. Now I know we're heading east, and it's not the correct altitude, but we're technically in our descent here, so still got a few clouds there, a little bit of haze along the mountains there. You know, when you're flying VFR, sometimes you know, you got to stay out of the clouds, so you will descend and take whatever altitude you can get. And like I said, plus we're sort of coming into Palm Springs anyway, so Palm Springs is coming up. Now they had winds out of the north, so we're going to be landing. Or we're going to be coming in on a downwind, and we'll do a downwind pattern here. And I think, let's see, which way do we want to do this? Want to do left or right traffic? Nice view of Mount San Jacinto. I think that's what it's called. The San Jacinto Mountains here. So I guess all that stuff has cleared out over here in Palm Springs. What little weather we did have here. Nice and sunny out here in the desert. You can see all the windmills right here. That's what those are. There's all the windmills right here through the pass, and what you're looking at right there is actually the shadow on the Ortho. So you can kind of see the windmill shadow, even though you don't have the physical windmill right there. Let's bring up our GPS here, and there's Palm Springs, so we're going to start turning around the ridge line here. And we'll call tower right about now, tell them where we're at. And looks like, I think we'll do left traffic for whatever the smaller runway is right there. Okay, so we said they were at 500 feet. So traffic pattern altitude is usually about 1,000 feet above, so about 1,500 foot traffic is what we want. So when we enter downwind, we want to be at 1,500 feet. So I'm throttling back here, get us slowed down, start a descent. See those nice mountains we go across. Surprised that we don't have any more turbulence than we do right now. It's pretty calm right now. There we're at 1,200, we get 1,000 feet to go to get down to our pattern altitude here. And I guess what we'll do is we'll take left traffic for the larger runway here. Alright, so our landing light's already on, fuel pump's on. Go mixture rich, and that is pretty much our landing checklist here for today. Continue to throttle back here. Still got about 700 feet to go to get down to 1,500 feet. Alrighty, just about on downwind here. And there's our 1,500 feet, so I'm going to bring the nose up. I'm going to throttle up just for a minute just to make sure we don't foul up our spark plugs here. Try to hold about 1,500 here for our traffic pattern, start getting trimmed up. Drop 1 notch of flaps here. There we go. Got the plane trimmed up nice. And I think what we'll do is we will turn right around that that little lake right here, and turn base. So we are just about abeam the runway approach end here. We've got 10 notch of flaps. Go ahead and power back just a little bit. Let the nose drop and start a little descent. Yeah, there's our lake. Let's go ahead and make our turn here. Try to make it coordinated. Go to our second notch of flaps. Alrighty, make our final turn here. Go to full flaps. It's a little bumpy here. Not as much as I thought it would be. Here we got full flaps. About 75 knots. You can see those clouds up ahead through the Banning Pass. Got a pretty displaced threshold here. And I found in this model, it likes to touch down at about 70 for a smooth touchdown, instead of just dropping the power all the way back. So I'm throttling back here a little bit, flaring ever so gently, and really throttled back right there when I touch down all the way. I do some heavy braking here. Lower the nose, or release the back pressure at least. Bring our flaps up. Welcome to Palm Springs. That was a nice little flight, and we managed to avoid all the weather through the pass. I think we'll see how we do in our next flight here. Not sure where I'm going to go, but we'll take off from Palm Springs and head back into the LA Basin and see what the weather's like over there. So I'm going to cross the runway over here to the right. And we'll go over to some of this GA parking here. Now, way back in the day, a long time ago, when I flew into Palm Springs every now and then, one of the FBOs here actually had their own swimming pool. I don't know if they still do. It was a long time ago. Used to come out here and get a bite to eat and take a dip in a pool if you wanted to. Alright, let's get cleaned up here. We'll turn our mixture down, fuel pump off, landing light off. Flaps are already off. We'll go to standby on the transponder. Flaps are already up. And we'll park it right over here and say that that is a complete flight. Shut her down over here. And then get ready for our next flight, so be sure to join that flight. It's a different video. I like to split the flights up into a couple different videos here. So if you like X-Plane and you like some GA flying, I've been flying the Piper from Just Flight, Piper PA-28-161 Warrior 2, really enjoying it. And going to be doing quite a few videos with it, I think, touring all of the Southern California and maybe some points throughout the Southwest here with it. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber, or hit the like button, at least help me out with the channel. You know what, I think we're just going to park it right here. Enough taxiing. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. We'll put our chocks on. If I can. Actually, I think I gotta put my brakes on first. Anyway, thanks for watching, and join me for some more videos.